The story about your dad with the brushing his teeth with ass paste was the funniest shit. I still want to do like a compilation stream where I just retell all the stories about my dad, the funny ones. I can't remember all of them. I need someone to help, seriously, me compile all the... I'm at a point, I don't even remember my own fucking life. So I need like an assistant to help me come up with all the fucking stories. Yeah, Pananka, it would be way too hard to actually compile all those. You would... Hunting down all of those fucking clips, hunting down all of those stories would be an absolute motherfucker. I was watching one of the Purge movies, and you know how they have obviously fake news segments like put in there? Like it's like you see a news anchor talking at you, looking at the camera, and like giving you news and being like, the Purge is starting in approximately 1 hour, right? They show you the little news segments like interspersed with the actual scenes of the film. My dad saw me watching it and he was like, what is that? The fuck in the news? And I was like, yeah, Dad, it's the news. And then like he's sitting there watching it, right? And 40 minutes later, he's like, I don't think this is the fucking the news. You lied to me. He watched like several dialogue scenes. He watched several scenes where like people were getting fucking executed and stuff and fucking murdered and fighting each other and throwing Molotov cocktails at each other. And so it's very obviously not news footage. You know, it's a film. You're watching a film. Kindred, thanks for 20 months. It wasn't like it was Cloverfield or something where it's like, it's not found footage, The Purge. You know what I mean? So, really, you have to be exceptionally brain dead to think that you're watching the news, right? The donkey in Sicily did short work on his brain. We call it the donkey lobotomy.
I think it was Easter. It was a holiday, and my mom tasked me and my father with, like, shelling and deveining a bunch of shrimp. And at some point, like, I was de-shelling them. My dad was supposed to take the vein out. And at one point, I look over, and he's got a pile of shrimp that were, like, quote-unquote done. And he didn't remove a single shit vein. And I was like, Dad, you gotta take the shit veins out. And he was like, what are you talking about? It's the best part. I was like, what, the shit? And he was like, yeah, what's the problem with the shit? Gotta eat a little bit of shit. So what? You be a fucking baby? Stop and grow the fuck up and eat the shit. I was like, all right, man. And then I just, like, he left the room and I took all the shit veins out myself. And to this day, I don't know if he was joking or not. Man it the fuck up and eat the shit.
Welcome.
I was actually like his attitude about it. Like I was being, like I'm a fucking, I'm a little baby because I didn't want to eat fucking like fish shit.
Cause I had dinner tonight before I started the stream, but interesting story, I guess. I went into the kitchen and my mammy was cooking up this meal. It was in the fucking the slow cooker. Right, she uses the slow cooker a lot, and now usually, like I've seen this before. Like she'll make, she'll buy and she'll cook these, like they're called Cornish game hens, like they're little chickens and they're fucking succulent and delicious and they're like they're really good, especially, yeah, when you like you put these fucking things in the oven and they're so like tender and fucking, they're kind of like, if you guys remember, Eraserhead, when the dad's like, oh, you just cut them up like regular chickens. Those tiny little fucking chickens with like the fucking black like pussy juice that comes out of them. They're like those. And I'm pretty sure probably like when they were shooting that movie, they used Cornish game hens. Harry Suzaka knows what I'm talking about. They're little chickens. They're not like baby chickens or whatever. They're fucking, these are just, the species of chicken is just really small, right? And yeah, I don't know, like the meat is like there's like very little white meat on it. Like most of the meat is like kind of like on the darker side, and it's like very like, I want to say it's like it's greasy meat, but like really like a good greasy. So anyway, she makes those all the time. So I went up and I looked in the slow cooker and I saw these things in there that these little birds cooking, and I was like, oh man, I guess they're like those Cornish game hens. And I fucking ate one, and there was like very little meat on it, and it had a taste like it wasn't familiar to me. Like it wasn't bad, it was just different, right? And I mean, the whole bird probably had like seriously like 3 or 4 bites of fucking meat on it. It was a really small bird. And I'm like, all right, I assumed it was one of those fucking Cornish game hen things, and I ate one, and then I saw my mom later on, and I was like, yeah, those hens were good. And she was like, you ate one of those? I'm like, yeah, what, was I not supposed to? She was like, yeah, I don't know what those are. Like, your fucking father brought them home and told me to cook them. They were just these little birds. I have no fucking idea what they were. She was like, Michael, they might not even have been birds. So I have no idea what I ate. Yeah, I have no idea what I ate. The assumption is that that's quail, but we don't know for sure that it's quail. Like he brought home like little birds, put them in the freezer, and my mom cooked them for him. And like, yeah, I wasn't supposed to eat them. Like they were for him or whatever. They could have been pigeon squab, right? They call it squab when you eat pigeon. I did eat it without asking albino. I was hungry. But also the birds were so fucking small. Well, I had 2 of the birds. But I'm telling you, there was so little meat on these birds. I'm still hungry. I need to fucking eat again. It could have been pigeons. Could have been endangered species, could have been... My dad does eat a lot of weird shit, for sure. This is this is apple cider vinegar mixed with dish soap. There's plastic wrap on the top of the cup, and there's been holes poked into the plastic wrap. So the flies go in, and they're like, ooh, what's in here? I love vinegar or something. And they go down there, and then they get stuck in it, and they drown in there, and they can't get out. The only way it works is if you drink it. One day, at my parents' house, my mom had a little dish of this concoction on the countertop. There wasn't any plastic wrap on the top or anything. And I was there. It was me, my mother, and my father. Now, I knew what was in there. I knew what it was. My father, he sat down next to it, and he was like, what do you got? Some kind of a fucking sauce? And he put his finger in it, and he sucked it off his finger, and he was like, that tastes like a fucking shit. And then he walked away. And I was like, no way. I looked in there, there was like 50 dead flies in it. He definitely ate some dead flies. He definitely did. He definitely did. He absolutely did. Isn't that awesome? So long story, I'll tell that one too real quick. It's always a crowd pleaser. He went to the supermarket. He bought a bunch of food, and we were having a barbecue. And one of the things he buys is a live raw lobster. And he's like, I'm going to cook the lobster. And what we had, we had you know those small round grills, those round charcoal grills? Would you try to cook a lobster on that? I don't think most people would try to cook a lobster on that. That's kind of for burgers. That's for steak. right? Hot dogs. I don't think that's for lobster, dude. So he puts it on there. He has no idea what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't know how to cook. He's like, I'm gonna cook the lobster. It's gonna be delicious. And he leaves it under there. 20 minutes go by. It's raw. By the way, my mother was like, you're not gonna be able to cook that lobster in there. And he was like, shut up, you stupid bitch. He didn't split it, steam it. He put it on there raw. An hour goes by. Everybody, most people already ate, you know. I think like another hour goes by of it sitting in there, just, you know, the shell is becoming burnt, but the lobster, it still appears to be raw. Right? So eventually he realizes he fucked up. He takes it off the grill and he cuts it open. The inside of the lobster is jelly. Right? It's just straight jelly. It's not the, you know, it never turned white. It's still like that clear, raw lobster. It's raw. Completely raw. And he's like, oh man, it's perfect. I'm gonna eat it. And my mom's like, don't eat that. You're gonna get all kinds of He's like, no, it's perfect. It's fine. I'm gonna eat it. Shut the fuck up. It's delicious. And he starts fucking eating it. And he's like, yum, yum. It's a lobster sushi. It's a delicious. And he's eating the raw lobster because he can't admit he was wrong. And he's like, who wants some lobster sushi? And we're like, no, man. That's parasites. I think he got like diarrhea or something. Like that's the worst that happened to him. Don't forget he's got plot armor. Don't forget, he's like the fucking main character. Don't ever forget that. He is straight up the main character of Earth. You could shoot him in the fucking brain and it would just come out clean the other side. He'd fucking survive it. Like, he would survive a bullet to the fucking dome. He would tank it. He would fucking face tank it and be fine. Get up and walk away. Put a Band-Aid on the bullet hole and fucking sleep it off. That's how he's built. He's the protagonist. He would parry it. He would press C and parry it. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, one day I'm going to tell you again, like, the Donkey Kick files will be unsealed one day when he's no longer with us. And you're going to hear some of the things that he's, like, gotten away with in life are just fucking insane. Like, things that some people, you know, would have been punished for severely. That he just fucking dodges. That he just, like, he just wave dashes out of the way. Like, it's fucking insane.
The closest I ever came to bonding with my dad was when he took me hunting and forced me to watch him rip out, like, gut a deer in front of him. And I was like, I wanted to cry, but I was too afraid. And that had to count as the only bonding experience I ever had with my father. That's true. I've told this story before. I can't do anything with the ball. See, if my father asked me to go outside and toss around the pigskin, like, knowing him, I'd go out there and he would just throw, like, a pig's fucking flesh at my face. Yep. A lot of it's genetics, too. Like, I think a lot of my stupidity and, like, my just being brain dead comes from my dad, because he's brain dead. You want to hear another dad story, chat? So he comes home the other day and he tells my mother, I wasn't there for this. I hear the whole story secondhand, like I told you guys. And He goes, I lost my fucking cell phone again. This is like, he's been through like 3 cell phones in the past 6 months. You know, he has these old fucking boomer phones. You know what I mean? Like the flip phones with like the giant buttons on them because he's old and blind and he's a fucking moron. And he keeps, by the way, each time he lost the phone, he tried to talk my mother into like letting him have an iPhone, which is remarkable. Like, is actually like fucking amazing because he doesn't understand anything about computers. He doesn't understand anything about like technology. Like, he doesn't know what I don't think he's ever experienced like a touch screen. Like, I don't know what the fuck. And the theory that me and my mother have is he's losing the cell phones on purpose. To like have an excuse to be like, well, it's the time to get the iPhone. Because it's going to be pure fucking hell to try to teach this man how to use a fucking iPhone. It would be like trying to teach like a Cro-Magnon how to use an iPhone. I'm not kidding. Because he has zero fucking experience with technology. Like, zero experience with any kind of technology. It would be like trying to teach like a man from like the fucking like 1700s how to use an iPhone. That's literally like where he's at. Not only that, it would last fucking 4 minutes before he sat on it or dropped it. And shattered. It would shatter instantly. Miker the Epic, thank you for 72 months. He wants to watch porn. No. You know what he wants? He wants to be able to like... this is how he operates. He wants to demonstrate to his friends that he can use one. Because his friends are actually laughing at him because he has this, because of the boomer phone. But they're also boomers, so it's ironic. They're laughing at him for the boomer phone and it's making him embarrassed. That's really sad. You know what's a lot sadder? My poor mother trying to teach him how to use this fucking phone. And he would like torture her about it. He would be constantly harassing her to like for help with it. Basically, she would have to fucking be like his 24/7 secretary to help him use the iPhone. Because he also wouldn't learn. Like, you could show him how to do something 1,000 times. Like, he doesn't even know how to use the flip phone. Like, I can't tell you how many times like he would come to me and like break my balls to try to like, you know, show him how to send somebody a picture or something. And like, as soon as basically what he wants is he wants you to do it for him, but like under the guise that you're teaching him how to do it. And he would do that for literally everything constantly. Not only with my mother, but with me and like our entire family. He would be like calling my brothers and shit and be like, how are you making a text message to this guy? Like, that would be our entire lives, would be answering the phone, fucking trying to walk him through how to use every aspect of this fucking phone. So we told him, no, you're not getting an iPhone, dude. Stop. I bet he's Sicilian. How did you know that? How did you know that? So he comes in. And he's like, I lost the fucking phone again. The fucking... He's flipping out. He's screaming. You know, Fungul, I lost the fucking phone. Fucking a cocksucker phone. Fuck. He's, you know, I'm not exaggerating this. Hey, Castle, thanks for the 25 months, bud. And my mother is like, what the fuck do you want from me? What the fuck do you want from me? You gotta fucking help me find the fucking phone. I gotta find the fucking phone. I needed the phone. So my mother's like, I don't know. You're on your own. I can't help. I don't know where you lost it. Like, where were you? And he was like in like 50 places. He had no idea where he lost the phone. So he goes and he takes like the house phone. And my mother is listening to this. He takes the house phone. He calls the phone. He calls the cell phone on the house phone and leaves an if found message. He said, hello, my name is Jabroni Jerkoff. If you find this phone, please call me at this number and I'll meet you and you can return the fucking phone. And the phone number that he left on the message was the number of the cell phone that he lost. My mother said nothing. So first, as if somebody was going to be able to get the fucking message, right? He takes the house phone and he goes to leave the house with it. And my mother's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to use it to help me find the phone. And she said, okay. So he leaves the house with the house phone, the wireless house phone, and starts driving to all the places where he thought he lost the phone and is trying to use the house phone to call his phone, hoping he hears it ringing. Like he's like miles from the house trying to use a house phone to call his own cell phone so he can hear it, right? Because he thinks that works like that, guys. Because he genuinely thinks it works like that. And then he came home and was pissed off that it didn't work. He was like, this phone is a fucking piece of shit. What the fuck you pay for this shit for? And my mother just sits there silent. She's just like, yep, you're right. We shouldn't pay for this. Mm-hmm. So then he goes back to the cell phone store when it becomes obvious that he's not going to find this phone. And we don't obviously know what happened at the store. We don't know what happened at the store, but he comes back and he says to my mother, he's like, you gotta have to stay here the whole day because they're gonna deliver the new phone. And you gotta answer the fucking door so they don't leave. Right? And my mother's like, okay, well, what are you gonna do about the SIM card? Because what had happened was he had an older phone that had a SIM card in it that had a bunch of the contacts in it. So what he was gonna do is he was gonna use the SIM card from the old phone to put on the new phone. And you know, she's like, are you gonna so what are you gonna do? You're gonna put the SIM card, they're gonna transfer over the data. You have to go back to the store. What happened? They usually do that at the cell phone store, right? Is where they transfer the fucking the data. Right. He goes, no, the bitch at the store, she fucking told me that the guy who delivered the phone is gonna do it. And my mother's like, the guy who delivers the phone is gonna do it? So you think that the UPS man who delivers the phone is gonna transfer the data between the two phones for you in front of the house, like, or at the house? You think that's gonna happen? To be fair, that is a service these days. Well, guess what didn't happen? That big surprise. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't a surprise to me. But I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. He had to take it back to the store. Okay? But, like, I'm going to tell you exactly what fucking happened, bro. Okay? It was from fucking UPS. The woman who was having to deal with him at that store would have said anything to him to get him the fuck away from her. Because that's how everybody who meets him is with him. Because he was definitely in the cell phone store like, fucking this and a fuck, screaming in this woman's face and fucking like harassing her and fuck. Because whenever anything goes wrong and whenever anything isn't exactly the way like he needs it to be, it's everybody's fault. The whole world is fucked up and not him. There's nothing wrong with him. It's everybody is incompetent and stupid. Everybody around him is fucked up and is a scumbag. Everybody around him is the problem. He's never the problem, right?
Do you want to hear something fucking amazing? Least stupid? So one day, months ago, like I actually, this is probably maybe like I'm gonna say like maybe almost 2 years ago. Okay, my dad comes home, and he goes to my mother, and he's like, "Listen, I want to go to get one of these iPhone thing." Because all of my friends, they have the iPhone and they make fun of me that I cannot use the iPhone. And they're laughing at me and they said that they call me an old boomer and shit. They're laughing at me and they call me stupid. Which I believe because you got to figure, right? He's out there with like all these other men and... You know, like he's going like whatever little fucking bullshit place he hangs out, whatever. And he's with these other men around his age, and they not Dunkin' Donuts, and they have like the fucking like the fishing club or whatever the fuck. And these men have iPhones. Okay. Did I feel like I might have explained some of this the time that he lost his cell phone so he could get another one, Wisp. Did I get into this? These other men are like kind of laughing at him and like calling him, you know, like a boomer and shit because they all have iPhones that they're able to use because they have like brain cells. And he's walking around with like a jitterbug flip phone because he's brain dead. He's blind, and he's a fucking moron. And not only that, but those flip phones are extremely durable because, I mean, he regularly drops it, steps on it, sits on it. You know, like that thing has to be tough. Like his phone, we have it in a case where it's like a very, very thick rubber. Like, you know the kind of case I'm talking about? Like it looks like a walkie-talkie. Like it doesn't even look like a fucking phone. It's very dad-proof. Right? So for like, you know, again, I told you that one story. I don't want to get into that story again where he lost his phone. And then that phone was subsequently replaced with an identical one because it had to be. It had to be. I didn't know OtterBox made cases for flip phones because keep in mind, we're talking about a flip phone, like a traditional like flip. It's not an iPhone. So he would say like, I want to get an iPhone. And the other thing too is like people were showing, they were like taking pictures. My father is the type of guy who needs to brag about shit. So he likes having pictures to show people. Like, so if like he catches a fish. Like that's what they're doing. Because these guys, that's what it's all about. That's what this is all about. The fact that these old men are going fishing, catching big fish, taking pictures of them, and then showing each other the pictures on their phones. And my dad is butthurt because he can't do the same thing. So he comes home and he's like, I want one of these phones. And my mother says to him, dude, not only do you not have any use for something like that, that's completely useless to you. No one on earth would be able to teach you how to use that. He can't even use the flip phone. He can't use the flip phone. Like he has to like he'll beg me and my siblings to come help him like put people's numbers in it and shit because he can't read and he can't operate technology. And there's only like a handful of people in the contacts. Like it's just like it's like this friend, that friend. How is your father still alive? Because basically my mother raised him. My mother fucking basically had like another child during her marriage to this guy. Like it was seriously, it was like having another child. Like she had to take care of him and like do everything because he can't read, he can't fucking, you know. And if you fucking like, you know, try to, you know, mention, if you try to talk about this at all, again, his whole thing was like he grew up on a farm. And that's like his excuse for being like dumber than a fucking rock is like he grew up on a farm. Like pretty much every fucking thing you could criticize him about goes back to like the fact that he grew up on a farm. You don't even know, some of you like don't even understand the word boomer, Destiny Llama. I'm sorry, you don't even understand the word boomer. He's like old country European boomer. Like this is a different breed. So for like years, we've been saying to him, you can't have one of these. You have no use for it. It's very expensive. You can't use it. You could spend every day for the rest of your life trying to learn how to use that, and you won't be able to because you can't read. And you can't operate the technology. You can't, and you're going to break that fucking thing. You're going to break it within minutes. You're going to walk out of the fucking store and immediately shatter it. My mom calls me the other day. She goes, don't come to the house. Like she was like, stay away from here. Don't come back here. I'm like, why? She's like, I came home yesterday and I saw like a receipt. I saw a receipt from Verizon. He went and bought one of those phones after being told not to do it and reasons not to do it for fucking 2 years. So now if you come back here, he's going to fucking harass you to teach him how to use this phone. Every time I see this man, for the rest of his life, he's going to harass me to teach him how to use this phone. Like without question, he's not going to be able to learn how to use that. Ever. Guys, he's never touched a single piece of technology in his life. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that he barely could use that flip. It was a miracle that he could use that flip phone like at all. Mike, my dad is 78 and he uses one. Yeah, but is your dad like, does your dad have donkey brain? Straight up, that happened on the farm. He got kicked in the head by the fucking donkey. It was like apparently it happened to everybody on the farm. It was like a rite of passage. Like getting kicked in the head by this donkey was something you just took for granted. I'm not even kidding. He got fucking kicked in the head by a donkey. So obviously he calling him a boomer isn't even accurate because he you know, he's from a farm. He can't read, he can't do any kind of math, he can't do anything. He's effectively brain dead. So when he went to my mother and he told her like that he wanted an iPhone, it was laughed at, and he was told, no, you cannot handle a piece of equipment like that. You can't handle what's essentially a pocket computer because you can't read. You know, we had him with like this huge flip phone with the giant buttons because he's blind and he's stupid. But unfortunately, he saw his friends fucking around with their iPhones, and he's a fucking child mentally, and he was like, I want one of those. My mother told him no. And then he went down to the Verizon store or whatever, and he bought one anyway. And ever since then, it's been everyone else's problem. If he sees you for a second, oh, you gotta help me with my phone. It's been for fucking years. We all have to help him with his fucking phone. Because he has no idea how it functions. He doesn't have the capacity to learn. And he wasn't able to listen when he was told that this was going to be the case. He was like, fuck you, you're calling me stupid. And we're like, yes. Yes, we're calling you stupid. You have no use for a phone like that. Literally the only reason he wanted one is because his friends had them. Fucking actual toddler brain. Toddler mentality. Everybody has one of these phones but me. Fucking 5-year-old mentality, bro. And now it's my mother's problem, it's my siblings' problem, it's my problem. For like, what, 2 years? When did I tell you this story? A couple years ago? It's still it's still going on.
There's a moment in your life when you realize that your parents are not infallible, right? That moment when you realize, like, oh shit, they're just like me, basically, and we're all fucking on our own. And it's a terrifying moment, right? Like that one moment where, like, the world fucking, like the illusion crumbles that your parents are like gods, right? You know, and it's really scary. Dude, I was young for, I think I was like 10 or 11 or something. I was young for it. And it was when I went into like the laundry room and I saw the laundry basket had my dad's underwear in it, and there was a track mark in it on the underwear. And that was for me when it crumbled. That was when the illusion shattered right there. He bleeds. Yeah, he bleeds. He bleeds. And if he bleeds, he can be killed. That was Mike's Joker incident.
I must have been about 10 years old. Yeah. And okay. I went into the laundry room in our house at the time. And because I was like, I think I was looking for like one of my shirts or something. And I go into a hamper and a pair of my dad's underwear falls out. And there was just a massive fucking shit streak on it. And when I saw that shit streak, I like froze in terror. I was because in that moment it all fucking clicked.
That makes perfect sense because your dad is supposed to be the like one of the authority figures in your life.
My dad was God. He was God.
And he can't even wipe his own ass.
Right. And it was terror. What I felt was terror. I felt fucking terror. I knew in that moment that all authority is an illusion and a fucking power play and a manipulation. It was a canon event. It was a canon event.
Like this is your version of like finding an inconsistency in the Bible and having your faith shaken.
Yeah. So I was with my dad on Easter, obviously, and we were going to have Easter at a relative's house, and he just had said so many interesting things in the car. Like, how do I explain this to you? It was like a rapid fire of bullshit that I knew I needed to tell you guys, but I had to write it down because I wasn't going to remember all of it because that's how stupid it was, okay? I was sitting in the back seat of the car and I actually wrote down everything that the guy said because I didn't want to forget any of it, okay? So first he tells me this story about how him and his friend from Yugoslavia were hanging out the other day at like the job, somebody's job, so he was helping somebody with a job or something like that. This guy from Yugoslavia. Now what's the problem with that guy? He was like, you know, my friend, the Yugoslavian guy. Guys, how long has Yugoslavia not existed? 35 years? 35 years, right? So, like, who is this guy and what country is this guy from? Like, what is he talking about? He then proceeds to tell me that when they were on the job site, there was this employee, like the Yugoslavian guy had an employee who was Muslim. And the guy had you know how Muslims, they grow beards for religious purposes? He told the guy, apparently, that he was like, this is gonna be sweat frogs, okay? He goes, you should have shaved that shit. You look like, what's his name? Osama Biden. So he told the guy that he looked like Osama Biden. Is what he did. That's how he when he told me the story, he said Osama Biden is what he said. And then he told the guy to shave his beard because he's scaring people. And then when the guy walked away, his Yugoslavian friend was like, why did you say that to him? Like, that's offensive. And my father was like, shut the fuck up. Why is it offensive? I told him to shave. Go fuck yourself. And then my dad got in an argument with the guy over whether or not what he said was offensive to him. And I'm sitting in the back seat he's driving, and I'm listening to this story, and I'm like, I have to write this down because this is a masterpiece. This is one for the fucking books. This is his magnum opus. What he's telling me right now. You see what I mean? It was rapid fire. It was rapid fire idiocy, right? And I was like, if I don't write this down, there's no way I'm remembering this. Right? He was cooking. He wasn't cooking anything good, but he was cooking nonetheless. Yeah.
The recent story I heard about my pops was he pulled a clam out of the fuck... Okay, who knows what a steamer is? A steamer clam. Or a razor clam? A razor clam. You ever on the beach and you see, like, you're walking on the beach near the surf and, like, water will get squirted out of the sand? You ever see that happen? they're not. No, not gooey ducks. They're called razor clams. And gooey ducks also do that. Razor clam. They're like these long, thin. Like the shell is like it kind of looks like a razor that you shave with. That's why they call them that. It's like a long, thin shell, and there's a big, long clam inside of it. And apparently, my father ate one raw on the beach. I wasn't there for this. My nephews were there for this. And he pulled it out of the sand and was like, "Watch this, it's very fresh. Hey, watch it." And he broke it. He ate the fucking clam raw, which is like, okay, people eat shellfish raw. I mean, all the time, I guess. Like oysters raw, clams raw. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. But alive and not cleaned. He ate it alive and not cleaned, and apparently it pissed in his mouth. He was like, "Oh fuck! There's a piss into my mouth. It pissed in it there." He said he tried to chew on it and it like filled his mouth with piss. Realistically, it was probably just fucking salt water from the ocean. It was probably ocean water. Maybe he said it tasted like piss on it and he spit it out. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm starting this because you guys are taking too long. At this point, I'm sure all the old men in Mike's family share a single brain cell. I told you my theory, right? They all got fucking kicked in the head by donkeys. Repeatedly. Repeatedly. Like, during their fucking, like, formative years. Seriously, like, when they were, like, 4 and 5 years old. They got donkey kicked in the fucking skull, like, over and over and over. And I, like, inherited some of the brain damage, you know. Did I ever tell you guys the How You Fall story? So, when we were kids, my dad brought us to meet some of his relatives in Sicily. And I remember we had just gotten ice cream. Like, we got, like, not ice cream, they call it gelato. Like, we had just gotten some gelato, I think, at a, like, we were in the town piazza, right? And the way it works in Italy is, and we got some Italians in the chat. Everybody goes and hangs out in the piazza. It's where everybody gathers. It's like, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's a little walkable, yeah, it's a little walkable, you know, part of the city with storefronts and restaurants, and old men hang out there and fucking scream at each other all day while they chain smoke cigarettes and get shit-faced. So, we're at the piazza and we're at, like, I think it was like a pastry shop or a fucking gelato place. And my dad had introduced, I guess, me and my mom and me and my sister are standing on like the stairs outside of this business while my dad's like, he's going bibbidi bobbidi boobidi. He's talking to some guy he hasn't seen in like fucking 10 years or something. And for some reason, my sister, she must have been like, I'm gonna say, if I was like 8, maybe she was like 6. She's standing there, and for some reason, she just loses her balance. And this is something that used to happen to her all the time. I honestly don't know if she had like fucked up inner ear issues or something, but my sister sometimes would just fall for no reason. And she did that, right? So she fell down a couple of steps and fell into like a garbage can. And my father apparently was just fucking like mortified by that. She started crying. My father was fucking mortified because now he's gonna think that, because in his mind, right? In his mind, she embarrassed him. Like when she fell and got hurt, not seriously, she embarrassed him in front of this guy and in front of like strangers. In like, you know, it was his hometown, which is like, oh my God, this is such a big deal, right? He's bringing his family like from America back to his hometown, and we have to be perfect. And we can't be perfect if my sister fell into a garbage can. Right? Because in his mind,
Now that these people witnessed my sister fall down in public, there's something wrong with her. Therefore, there's something wrong with him. That's the logic. Like, that's it. That's how his brain works. That's how it works. Everybody is going to see that and laugh at him and like make fun of him. Like, did you see that his daughter fell for no reason? Like, oh my God, what an asshole. There's something wrong with him and his sperm because he made like a fucked up daughter. This is his brain. I swear to God. So we get in the fucking car because he rented a car and we start driving away and he's flipping out and he's going, how? How you fall? How the fuck you fall? How you fall? How you fall? Like he just kept repeating that over and over like he was asking how she fell. And it was extremely fucking traumatic, but we kind of like a fucking coping mechanism for me and my siblings, because if you guys haven't figured this out by now, we went through a lot of like emotional and physical abuse growing up with this guy. So we've adopted a lot, I'm going to say like coping mechanisms that kind of like anytime anything falls now, okay, like we will say how you fall. Or anytime anything remotely like that happens, this is what we say to each other. Like we've made it into something funny. Gallows humor. Yeah. And this is why, again, dark humor has always been like really a big part of my sense of humor. Which again, I've had to curb a lot of it since I started streaming because of Uncomfy. But like we had no choice. Like we had to find, you know, ways to laugh at horrible things because that was the survival mechanism. So like even to this day, like we quote that, like we'll quote him if someone drops something or if literally anything falls, it's how you fall. Like we bring it up, we reference it, right? When trauma becomes an in-joke between siblings. Yeah, because he was flipping the fuck out. Like I remember he was like reaching behind into the back seat to like try to grab her. Because I don't know what he was going to do. He was just fucking going out of his mind. He was going ballistic because she fucking fell. Yeah, he's out of his fucking mind.
It's long story. My dad, he was being given like a senility test, and they asked him who the president was, and he said Barank Obunga.
Solid. Passing with flying colors.
Trump was president.
Okay.
Do you want to know where pump came from? My dad knows some guy through work who apparently like grows pumpkins in his fucking backyard. And I was at my parents' house and my dad was like, here you go, you want a fucking pumpkin? And I was like, no. Not really. What am I supposed to do with that? And he was like, no, this is the kind of pumpkin that you make into a pie. You bring it home and you make it into a pie. And I'm like, when have you ever fucking seen or heard of me cooking anything? Ever, Dad. Like, what is, I don't want this fucking thing. And he was like, come on, take it the fucking pumpkin. He started getting like pissed off about it, that I wouldn't take the fucking pumpkin. So I took the fucking pumpkin, I carved a hole in it and fucked it.
And then you had the Turks and Caicos, which my father once eloquently referred to as cocks and tacos, I think he called it, because he couldn't remember what it was called. He was like, yeah, my friend, he went to go fishing down in the cocks and tacos. I was like, cocks and tacos, dude? Where's that? In the Caribbean, it's one of the islands down there, the cocks and tacos. And I'm, in my head, I'm seeing like dick tacos, right? Like just like a cock, like in a fucking hard shell taco. Cocks and tacos, something like that. Maybe that's not exactly what he said. And there's this fucking character that I hate is hanging out up here, and there's all these little cockos. Cockos, like when my dad couldn't pronounce or remember the name of the country in the Caribbean, Turks and Caicos, he called it like cocks and tacos or something like that. Cocks and tacos. One of his fucking friends went to Turks and Caicos. He was like, "Hey, he went down into Cocks and Tacos." I was like, "What is that? A fucking like gay Mexican joint? Cocks and Tacos?" Sounds like a good night.
Fun fact: recently, I had my dad over my apartment, right, along with some guests. Right, me and some guests were we were sitting in our living room, the table where, you know, we usually, me and my roommate usually eat, and we had past tense, we had a dining room set, okay, with six chairs, okay. And both my parents are there, and some other folks are there. It's a nice little gathering, right? And my dad is sitting. He sits down in one of the chairs, and he's talking, and he's being my dad. You know, he's being my dad. And at some point, there's like a loud crack sound from my father's direction. And he's in like the middle of a sentence, and he just keeps going. He just keeps talking. I'm like, what? What was that? I don't know, whatever. And we move on. He's just telling one of his fucking like jerk off stories. Talking with his hands and everything, and like trying to act like a big shot. But I had a suspicion. And later on, he leaves, and I go investigate the chair, and it's like split down the middle. Like the chair's completely fucked. Like you can't sit in it. You can't sit in it anymore. He shit in it? No, what happened was the weight of his body destroyed the chair. And like he absolutely felt like, how do I explain this? It's upholstered, right? So something inside the chair, like the part that you actually sit on, snapped in half. And then his ass fell through the chair. Like he felt this. Absolutely, this chair broke. And he felt it. But he ignored it and left without saying anything. Like, you think he could have, at some point could have said, "I broke your chair"? By the way, I broke your chair. No, he just fucking pretended it didn't happen. The seat of the chair's support broke. Like, if I were to go sit in the chair right now, it would collapse. Why it didn't collapse when he sat on it, God only fucking knows. I don't know. But he broke the chair and didn't say shit. And he didn't say a single fucking thing. And he absolutely fucking felt it. There's no shot he didn't feel it fucking snap in half underneath him. Okay? Would you rather have your seat shit on or have your seat broken? I wish the shit would have been easier to deal, because now I have one less chair. Sorry about the chair, but that's funny. I thought you guys might like it. I didn't think it was very fucking funny. But again, a normal person, again, would be like, would tell you, "I broke your chair. I'm sorry, just so you know, just so you don't sit in it and hurt yourself. I broke your chair. Something snapped in your chair while I was sitting on it." I'm pretty sure he had like shifted in the chair. Like he did something. He did it. He's the reason the chair broke. It's not like, oh, you know, it was only a matter of time before this chair broke. He just happened to be the person sitting in it when it broke. No, he did it. I don't know how to tell you I know he did it. I just know that he fucking did it. And he completely ignored that it even happened. Just like the time he stepped on my glasses. Remember that story? Remember when he stepped on and broke my glasses? Remember that? And then was like acted like it didn't happen? I feel like he goes through his whole life with the same mentality. He does. I guess he would have been embarrassed by the breaking chair, so he didn't say anything. It would have made him look bad somehow in his head if he, you know what I mean? It would have embarrassed him in some way or made him look bad, so he didn't say anything. Speaking of narcissists, so last year, my mom had mentioned to my dad. She was like, "Wouldn't it be cool if I think one day she was like barbecuing in the backyard and it started to rain, and she mentioned to him it would be cool. You know, I'm thinking about getting like, you know, those little gazebos, those little just a little like thing that you put over a barbecue to stop it from fucking getting wet." The gazebo is the wrong word. Like, it's just a little fucking, not a tent. It's like a hutch, I guess. Yeah, some kind of, you've seen these things, right? Where it's like, it's just goes over the barbecue. So wouldn't that be fucking cool if like we had something like that? I might buy something like that. He's like, "The fuck you are? I'm gonna make one because I'm an Italian craftsman." And he goes to Home Depot and buys a bunch of lumber and like builds this thing himself. One day, I remember I went over to the house and I'm talking to my mom and I see something weird in the backyard and I'm like, "What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?" He built this big stupid like monstrosity that was first of all it was too big. It's fucking hideous. It's hideous. Too big. Ugly, stupid. He spent thousands of dollars building it. He fucked up at one point, had to take half of it down, and had to fucking redo half of it because he fucked something up. Thousands he spent out. Apparently he spent thousands. Looks like complete shit. And it's not like a thing you can like pick up and move. Like it's permanently in the ground. And I have to tell you something. I didn't even get to my favorite part about it. I didn't even get to my fucking favorite part. You know, it's starting to get warm here now, right? And you know, spring is starting to happen, and like bugs are coming out and everything. And I went to my parents' house and she was like, "Oh, come sit in the backyard. It's nice." And we're sitting in the backyard and you know, I can't help but notice that there are a bunch of like wasps and hornets going up inside of the thing that he fucking built. And I'm like, "What's going on with that?" She's like, "Yeah, they're making nests up there." I'm like, "So this guy basically spent thousands of dollars to build like a wasp condo. So he's just housing fucking stinging insects now out of the kindness of his heart. He spent thousands of dollars to create like a hotel for fucking wasps and hornets, bro." And they were everywhere. They were everywhere. Like I had to go. I was like, "I'm going back in the fucking house. I'm not gonna sit out here and get stung. This is fucking bullshit. This is bullshit. Murder house. I fucking... He built a Wasp condominium, guys. And what was funny was the ceiling of it, like the interior, the roof of it. He used like a fucking lattice. I don't know how to fucking explain it. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of this for you guys, okay? So you can understand. This. Exactly this. Okay, exactly this, guys. I found it. Exactly. This is all stuck up in the top of it. So it's perfect for the fucking wasps and hornets to fly up in there and make their nests like unmolested. I don't know why he did. This is not for that. He built something that was perfectly optimized for these kinds of insects to fucking breed in and make nests in. Totally unhindered. He made a wasp hotel. He made a fucking wasp hotel. Couldn't have been more perfect for fucking like wasps, hornets, all the things that fucking you have to be hospitalized when they sting you. And it's just another day. My mother's like, she just shrugs now. She's like, yep, just another day. Just another day in the fucking life. He's a cartoon character. Just another day in the fucking life, guys. All right, so they're just going in and out like
farmed fish is nasty, right? Those fish swim around eating each other's shit. It's just over and over. They're just like, it's like the human centipede with fish. And then you eat that. So do chickens. Remember when my dad told me that? And he was like, you like to eat the bird that eats his own shit. Ergo, you like to eat the shit. That's what my dad said to me when I was like fucking 8 years old. He's like, you know, the chickens, they eat their own shit. That's why they taste so good to you. Because you like to eat shit. He didn't say ergo, obviously. I insert, yeah. No, he didn't say that. No. No, obviously he didn't say that. No, he doesn't know the word ergo. No, he doesn't. No. So another time, he's, again, I hear this from somebody else. Again, I wasn't there. He's out with this guy, and they're looking for a place to drop the anchors so they can sit there and fish, I guess, right? And at some point, my father, he randomly stops the boat, and he's like, "We're gonna fish right here." And his friend's like, you know, the guy's like, why here in particular? Why? What is it? And he's like, I can smell the fish. They're under the boat right now. I could smell them. And the guy goes, what do you mean you can smell them? It's like, there's no way that's a thing. Like, he's like, no, I can smell them. He goes, and the guy's like, what is it? What, do you smell fish? Like, what does it smell like? And my father goes, smells like a watermelon. So the guy's like,
okay. And then like the realization slowly dawns on him, like, oh my God, I'm out in the middle of the ocean on a boat, a relatively small boat, alone with a complete fucking psychopath. So that he starts getting scared. And the guy, yeah, no. And then they don't catch any fish, and he's like, no, the watermelon smell is like over that way. So they pull up the anchor, and then they fucking go and, what's up, Joey? You got a crop dust? One sec. So they go and they're following the smell of watermelon through the fucking air. Based on nothing but my father saying, like, okay, here's the smell of the watermelon. And the thing was, right, at the end of the story, the guy's like, you know what, I'm going to tell you something. He's like, I empathize. Because he's like, I'm never getting in a boat with your father again. That's number one. And I empathize for you because your father, he's legitimately insane. You must have had a very hard life, and you will probably continue to have a very hard life. But I have to tell you, everywhere he said he smelled the watermelon, we caught fish. Swear to God, true story. Swear to God. Apparently, like, I was on Xanax and I talked to my dad for like hours. I don't remember a single fucking thing about it. Apparently, I was told about it afterwards. It was like, yeah, you were talking to your father, which I avoid, which, you know, I never would have done if I wasn't on drugs. Let me put it to you that way. And apparently, I talked to him for hours. I have no fucking idea what I said to him. Like, what happened? I still get scared thinking about it. The disco biscuit! Gain +5 charisma for the rest of the battle and gain 6 mana. I remember taking one of these once, man. And just... Again, that's... How many milligrams is that? 2? It's only 2 milligrams. Or 4. I believe it's 4 milligrams. Which doesn't sound like a lot, right? But it is. And let me tell you something. There's a reason that these pills are fucking scored 4 times. Is because you're supposed to break them into 4 pieces. They're 2 milligrams? Okay, they're 2 milligrams. Which doesn't sound like a lot. But it is. I remember taking one of these and just time traveling like 3 days into the future. I'm not kidding. 3 days of my life were fucking gone. Gone. And I remember my mom, on like the 4th day when I started like getting, when I like came back to reality, my mom was like, what was that conversation you had with Dad about in the kitchen? And I'm like, we'll never know. We'll never know, will we? Uh-oh is right. Yeah, uh-oh is right. Maybe we made a deal and I don't even know about it, you know? And like one day he's going to make good on the deal or something. Like maybe we had a conversation where he was like, I'm going to pretend to be like I have a serious brain damage, okay? And I don't know what my end of the deal was. Like I had my dad, this was fucking great. My mom was like, I told him to stop because we had, you know, we've had this conversation like fucking 15 years ago. My mom was like, I told him to stop using the Q-tips. I guess he didn't hear me on account of being so deaf from using the Q-tips. He comes out of the shower with like in his bathrobe, right? I physically seen this multiple times. He'll come out of the shower with the Q-tip. Okay, and he puts it in as deep as possible, like literally to the fucking hilt, like as deep in as you could go, and he's fucking scraping the fucking sides of his ears, like he's scraping and like as hard as fucking possible, and I'm like, there's a good chance he's touching brain. And he's literally scrambling his fucking gray matter every time he does this. He's a DIY lobotomy. This guy's ears have to be so fucked up at this point. Like his ear canals, his eardrums have to be completely fucking destroyed because he's been doing that for 50 years, and he's so he's so old, right? He had the donkey kick, and then he had the DIY lobotomy. So obviously, Easter happened when we were in Dallas. And, my family got together for Easter. And my dad does the thing that he usually does where he goes to the store. He knows that, like, as a human being, right, he's supposed to, like, bring something to the holiday, right? Like, he basically understands that. So this is how my dad shops, all right, for holidays. Or for anything. This is what he does for Christmas. I swear to God. He walks into a store and he knows, okay, what is it? It's Christmas? All right. I have to buy gifts for these assholes because that's how Christmas works. Okay. So he goes in and he just grabs a bunch of random shit off the shelves. I'm not fucking kidding. I think one Christmas when I was like 13 or 14, I think I was a little older. A little bit. I might have been like 16, 17. He did it at CVS, and he randomly grabbed a little gumball machine that had like a cartoon dragon on it. I wish I still had it because it was fucking hilarious. And we were like, what is this? Like it seemed like a gift for like a much younger child. You know what I mean? It sounds kind of badass. It was just weird. It was just you know what it was? It was fucking random. It was random. I think he gave my sister like a fucking protein bar. For Christmas. Guys, I swear to God. So I don't know. I don't know what happened to the gumball machine. It might be sitting around somewhere in like their attic or something. I don't know. But and I just remember, but sometimes like he'll go into like Macy's and he'll grab some random shit. Like he got me a really nice jacket once, for example, that like I still wear. Like he got me a really nice, like what looked like a kind of expensive jacket. So it's like it's scattershot with this guy. You know what I mean? Isn't your dad illiterate? That probably doesn't help. He is illiterate, yeah. So apparently, for Easter, he went and he did this again. He grabbed a bunch of random shit. He went to a bakery and he bought something called a Bun Time. What is it called? What is the fucking pie called? A wheat pie or something? A what? Okay, it's called a grain pie. Have any of you guys ever had grain pie? He bought something called a grain pie. And I get home. Now I get home from You Got Punked medieval style. It sounds like something they ate in the fucking Middle Earth, right? It sounds like a horse feed. So apples for a hollow. Thank you for 22 months, man. He brings it to Easter. Everybody's like, what is that? You know, they're like, what is that? This time on Tasting History, we're making grain pie. Right, yeah. Hey, I'm here for the holiday. I bought the medieval peasant slop. I bought some medieval peasant gruel so we can, be serfs. On Easter, we can cosplay as peasants. Or sounds like a fucking war ration. Sounds like a Roman centurion war ration. Grain pie is when the Quaker Oats guy nuts in you. Okay, apparently okay, we're finally getting some fucking context because nobody at Easter touched it. Like, I came home and it was in the fridge. And I'm like, what is that? You know, and one time's like, your family, you know, didn't want to throw the food out. So I ate some normal leftovers, and then I get to the grain pie, and it, you know what? Remember the videos where it was like water pie? I don't know how to explain it. It's fuck it, I'll say it. It's good. It's good. He ate half of it in one sitting. Why do all of you do this shit where you exaggerate? This is like Static being like, yo, Mike, how's the beer tower in 5 minutes? You all do this fucking shit. I've been eating the pie since I got home. I'm having like a slice here and there. I didn't eat the entire fucking thing in one sitting. Are you kidding me? What is it? Why do you guys do this? Okay, it's half gone. It's called a pastiera napolitana, and it is a Italian Easter tradition. Is he better at fishing than he is with anything else? He's probably like mid at it, honestly. Like, I know he's entered fishing tournaments like over the course of his life. I don't. He might have won like once. I think he's like mid. He's probably like mid. Remember everybody who would go with him, right? Who would go out fishing with him? You know, like, they'd usually only go once because he's fucking insane, right? And then never go again. And they'd always come back with a fucking insane story. So they were on this boat. This is okay. This is one of my cousins. They were on this boat, not a small, not like a large boat, by the way. Like, I'm talking like a, I don't know, like I think like a 15-foot boat, maybe like a 10. I think like a 10 to 15-foot boat, and they brought it out. They brought it out near. They were near Long Island somewhere. They were somewhere off the coast of Long Island, and there was, I don't quite remember the story, but it was either a cruise ship or like a cargo ship. Like, you know, the massive cargo ships? Was basically barreling down on their position. And this got to be about 20 years ago. And my cousin was like, let's move out of the boat's way, because obviously the boat has like a path that it takes. It's very difficult for a large boat like that to course correct. And he was like, no, this is where the fish are. We're not going to move. Fuck him. He's going to move. And my cousin was like, I don't think it works like that. And the fucking boat starts blasting its horn to like make my father move. And he's like, fuck this guy, fuck you. You know, burn, 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 right? And like eventually because also my father's brother was on the boat. My cousin's father was on the boat. It was me. It was my father, his brother, and his brother's son. And eventually my uncle was like, it was like, fuck you, I'm pulling up the anchor. So he goes and pulls up the anchor. My father's screaming at him. He's like, don't you touch my fucking anchor, you piece of shit. Screaming. I wasn't there for this. Again, this is a secondhand story. So he pulls up the fucking anchor. Meanwhile, my cousin like revs up like the boat's engine so it can move like 3 feet to avoid getting hit by this fucking boat. They were going to die. My father was going to kill him and his brother and his nephew. My cousin claims he touched the cruise ship with his hands because that's how he was trying to physically push the boat further away from the cruise ship. And my father was furious. He was cursing them out. He was like, you should have made a move. You shouldn't have moved for that guy. Fuck that guy. Yeah, no, it's not even... No part of this is exaggerated.
And when I was a child, guys, I was very, very annoying. According to my siblings and my mother, I used to do this thing. This went on for like about a year or two. Where at every opportunity, I would just make this really annoying sound. It was something like this. For no reason. For like hours and hours and hours at a time. To the point where, like, you know, like it made the beatings that I received make sense, basically. One time, here's another dad story. We went to we were in Sicily because we were visiting like my dad's relatives and stuff. And I just did that for like 6 weeks nonstop. I did this. I like made this sound. And it would like embarrass my father so fucking badly. And in retrospect, I'm proud that I did that. Not really like remembering it, but I'm so proud that I did it. Because, you know, whatever, fuck him. And at one point we went into like this old like medieval cathedral, you know, it's Europe, right? And it was really, really, really like reverby in there, and I was like in the church, right? And it was because it was like reverbing and it was awesome. I'm like 6. I gotta be like 6, 7. Right? Smeeb, thanks for 17 months, buddy. In the church, right? And like priests were like like all the priests and shit were getting mad, like the nuns were getting mad. And it was like probably one of the most epic things like I've ever done, and I like don't even remember it. I have to hear the story secondhand. Like they were all like flipping out. They were getting all Italian about it, and I was just like, "Ah!" And no one could do anything to stop me because I was a child, right? I should fucking... Dude, I should just go over there and, like, make that sound like that now, like, just to piss him off because he sucks.
My dad was on a hunting trip, and he ate bear penis. And he said the penis was, like, the only good part of the bear. Yeah, he ate bear penis. RFK moment. Yeah. Yeah, he ate bear penis. Did RFK? Why? Did he also eat bear penis? Bro, maybe he was on the hunting trip with RFK Jr. That would be fucking crazy if my dad somehow was with RFK Jr. and I did. That would be insane. Because, bro, how often are people out there eating bear penis? It would be wild if it happened like often enough where it wasn't just this, where they weren't on the same hunting trip. Right? Part of a healthy diet. Kyle, thanks for 34 months, bro. Your dad peer pressured RFK Jr. to eat that shit. What if my dad is the reason that RFK has fucking literal holes in his brain? What if my dad is the reason that RFK Jr. got like fucking bear penis brainworm parasites and he's like that now. And my dad didn't get the parasite because of his plot armor. Basically, right? What RFK did. And now he's like the reason why we're not going to cure cancer anymore. It's like my dad's fault that there's not going to be a cure for cancer. Or something, right? That would just make so much sense. That would happen. Like, that would happen, right? That would happen. Ah, your dad's like Forrest Gump. Yeah, like he's through like his stupidity and just his ineptitude and whatever, and his bumbling like idiocy, he ends up influencing like global events and stuff like that. But like, instead of being positive like it was generally in Forrest Gump, it's only like just horrible, like negative shit that like makes all of our lives worse. It's like my dad's the reverse Forrest Gump. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
You guys know my dad's from Sicily. They don't speak Italian down there. They speak like a goblin version. And anytime my dad tries to okay, he can't speak to other Italian people. He cannot speak Italian. It's like a dialect thing. We thought that if he spoke to another Sicilian person, it would help him. But even Sicilians don't understand him. So I think like whatever fucking farm him and his brothers grew up on, they had their own like fucking pig Latin that they just think that other people can understand or something. This is a very pervasive problem in Sicily too. He was on the phone, like we had him on the phone trying to get like some fucking insurance thing settled, and he's talking to the fucking insurance company, and then they're like, okay, they're asking him questions, and he's like, I don't understand you. So they're like, all right, we'll get you a fucking Italian translator. They put the Italian translator on. He can't fucking understand them. They can't understand each other. They're like, all right, so let's get a fucking, an actual like Sicilian person to speak like the Sicilian dialect. They still couldn't talk to each other. Okay? And not only this guy, all right, so you're thinking like, all right, well, the guy came to the United States when he was 17 years old. Maybe he speaks English. I don't fucking understand him. I barely understand this guy when he speaks. He take my word for it, he can't fucking speak English either. Isn't that a Seinfeld episode? Dude, I don't know, but there's something wrong with this man, like deeply.
Mamma and Papa Briccolini will not cook you no linguine. Don't you know we specialize in one thing, that's the pizza pie.
It's fake Italian. This is like when Peter Griffin went bippity boppity boopity bippity boppity boop. This is just that. Yeah. This is get your dad to translate. My dad would understand it. My dad would be like, like knowing him, he would translate that. Because he's like a non-human. So like if you give him like this non-language, he'd be able to translate it. It's an English piss hog. Don't call me a piss hog, okay?
Fred, can I tell you a fucked up childhood memory of sleeping in this basement? I was on a bed, and there was like, there's a sheet on the bed, and I'm laying on the bed, and I'm trying to fall asleep, and I remember like feeling some things move under the sheet, like between the mattress and the sheet. And I fucking get up and I take the mattress off, and there was like, the daddy long leg spiders. Yeah, there was ants and daddy long leg spiders under the blanket. Basically, it was fucking like the video game Sim Ant was taking place like underneath me while I was trying to sleep. The fucking there was an ecosystem on underneath my my bed sheet.
Dude, I've seen movies where this literally happens, like horror movies where this happens. I'm trying to think, like, what movie has that happen? I feel like I've literally...
Dude, and I go complain, and my dad's like, you shut it the fuck up. We take you on a nice vacation, dude. It's a beautiful place, and you're gonna fucking whine and bitch? You shut it the fuck up right now. And he like fucking flipped out on me because I complained because there was spiders in the bed.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Good,
What?
cool stuff, right? Cool stuff. Cool
What
story.
the
Cool
fuck?
story. Cool story.
On 4th of July, I was hanging out with my family. It was like a family affair. And I go to my my brother's house. It was that we had it. We were at my brother's house, and then we were at my sister's house, and then we were like all over the place. It was stupid. So I get to my brother's house. Me and my dad me and my dad go to my brother's house, and it's just me, my dad, and my brother. I get into his house, and I go into his living room, and I sit down on the couch because I'm tired, and it's like only 3 of us in the house, and it's total like dead silence, right? And from another room, I hear my dad like choking on something. Like he's like kind of like he's like he's like hacking a little bit, right? And I then hear my brother, he's like, Dad. Like, he's like, oh my god, Dad, you okay? My dad's like, yeah. My brother's like, Dad, did you fucking eat charcoal? And my dad goes, yeah. Like, I hear him go, yeah. Now, I shouldn't have fucking tried to tell you this story like while I'm doing this, because in order for you to understand it, you have to see the fucking like the product in question for you to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Honestly, this is the newest entry in the my dad's a fucking moron saga, and like we're all really enjoying this right now. Like a new legend has been added to like the saga of my dad being a fucking moron. A new chapter. It's a new chapter. All right, how many of you smoke hookah? And we got any hookah smokers in the chat? All right, dude. So here's the easiest way to understand this. My brother has a hookah that he occasionally smokes. All right, in the room, there was a box. All right, you see these? Okay, these are charcoal. These are coals for the hookah. Okay, you see how they're in like a sleeve and they kind of look like, I guess, like Oreos or something. Okay, so he had a box of hookah tobacco that was flavored like watermelon. And there's a picture of a watermelon on the box. And it's like a tin, like a square tin. Now, one of those sleeves was hanging like half out of the box. So this fucking moron thought that he thought it was like some kind of watermelon flavored chocolate. I think. Which, like, okay, kind of understandable. But dude, if you've ever held one of these things, you know. Like, dude, as soon as you pick that up, you know that's not food. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that's not food. The second you fucking put it in your fucking hand, you're like, okay, this is not fucking something you eat, right? Like, it feels off. Like, it'll feel like it feels like charcoal, man. And he fucking bit it, right? Cock, I'm fucked. He takes a huge ass bite out of it, right? And actually swallows some. Like, you figure, like, okay, if he didn't notice it when he's holding it, he's gonna notice it when he bites it. And if he doesn't notice it when he bites it, he's gonna notice it when it's in his fucking mouth. And if he doesn't notice it when it's in his mouth, he's gonna notice it when it's going down his fucking throat. Like, dude, he swallowed a bite. When you bite this fucking shit, it's hard. He had to bite this fucking thing hard, dude. Hard. You know what? It's the consistency of coal. It's very hard. Like, he had to work to fucking eat this. This is coming from someone who eats bath soap from Lush. That's a joke. I never actually ate soap. I was joking. His jaws are strong, but his brain is small. It was one of the funniest things. Like, I was laughing, obviously, so fucking hard, but you still have to, like, hide. Like, you can't laugh at him, because he'll, like, he'll, like, smack the shit out of you if he sees you laughing at him. You know? So, like, I couldn't laugh, like, directly in his fucking face. Because he can't handle that, you know what I mean? And it was like, I could tell by the way he was, like, he was talking very quietly, like, he was like, yeah. Yeah. Like, he didn't want me to hear what was happening in that room. Like, he was deliberately, like, the fucking, like, once he realized he fucked up, like, he was chugging water and choking and shit. He knew I was sitting in the other room, and he didn't want me to hear that. He fucking ate charcoal! He ate charcoal, dude! I told my mom later on, we met up with my mom, and I told her he ate the charcoal. And she was like, oh, butt paste fucking chapter 2? Because there's butt paste chapter 2, yeah. What was chapter 1? Chapter 1 was the butt paste. If you don't know, okay, I'll tell the story very quickly. At some point, my father says to my mother, you gotta buy more toothpaste. We ran out of toothpaste. And my mother was like, wait a minute, I was just in there and there was a full fucking tube of toothpaste. So she goes up there to, like, find out what the fuck he was talking about. You know I have to use the... I have to get the picture to tell the story accurately. She was like, what are you fucking talking about? There's a full tube of toothpaste. So she goes up there only to discover that my father has been brushing his teeth with this. My father has been brushing his teeth with this for like 6 months. He can't read. Diaper rash ointment. He brushed his teeth with this for fucking for months and didn't realize, like, it wasn't toothpaste.
I went back to my parents' house again. I looked in the refrigerator. Remember that I told you about my dad buying all those plantains? Yeah, like, a bunch of them were gone. And I'm like, oh, you cooked them? And my mother goes, no, your father is eating them like bananas. Guys, do you know what a plantain is like when it's raw? It's like a fucking a raw potato. Do you want to know why he's eating them? Because he can't admit that he bought the wrong thing, that they're not bananas. He has to eat them to this is the type of man he is. He has to eat them to prove that there's nothing wrong with him and that he didn't fuck up and they're perfectly fine bananas. So on brand. So fucking on brand. How is he a real guy? I swear to God, he's a real guy. He's real. He's a Chad? You think so? Yeah, based. He's eating them as if they're fucking bananas because he can't admit that he fucked up and bought plantains instead of bananas. How is he still alive thinking the way he does? Sheer fucking luck. Him eating the plantains and just insisting that they're delicious is the same fucking mentality behind lobster sushi and fucking like brushing his teeth with butt paste and all that fucking insane shit. The thing with the chili pepper. The salmiakki, remember the salmiakki too from Joel? Jolene Orengi with 16 months, thank you so much. How am I doing? I'm doing great, thank you for being here. It is his hubris to suffer. Yeah, it is his hubris. It's his fucking hubris, dude. They do look exactly like a banana. These don't look like bananas to me. They're too big, they're shaped different, they're like flatter. They're like too brown. Like, they don't look like bananas to me. Okay. Everybody shut up. Yeah, if he buys floor cleaner and thinking it's juice, he's then gonna fucking like chug the juice. Chug the fucking floor cleaner. Alright, he looks really, really fatigued now. How is he still alive? We don't fucking know. He also has been diagnosed with diabetes. And he doesn't give a fuck. They were like, you can't eat. They gave him like this big list of all these things he can't eat, and he totally ignores it. And has been for years. And he's apparently is fucking fine. This is not hurting him at all. Like, he's just fine. It's like, oh, you can't have pizza because the tomato sauce has too much sugar or whatever. It's bad for your blood sugar. And he just fucking pounds pizza like every day. Literally built different. He's built very, very different, guys. I doubt he's fine. He's fine. He's not retired. He still fucking works every day. Works like an animal. Fucking manual labor. He's fine. He's 70% gorilla. Here's the thing. Didn't you inherit his genes? Why is your body so fragile? Meanwhile, I have a torn meniscus. Fucking carpal tunnel. My eyes are fucking useless. My dad's never worn glasses. I'm fucking blind as a bat. I get constant headaches. I'm tired all the time. My back is destroyed. I got the fucking GERD or whatever. The acid reflux. Liquid Mike. Liquid Mike. I got all the shit genes. Yeah.
One time, I guess my dad, he planted some strawberries in the backyard. Like, I don't know where he got them from. Like, I don't know if he got it from like Home Depot or some shit. But he would always like, you know, I told you guys this shit. He would like grow vegetables in the backyard and stuff. Like real fucking, you know, old school Italian energy, right? And then fucking like, you know, really like him growing a garden was just, I could talk about that for hours. But he would like, you know, like he grew the fucking, the fucking Jerusalem potatoes or whatever the fuck they were. Artichokes. But mostly it's so he can have something to like bitch about and like get mad about. Like when animals attack the fucking, you know, the plants and like eat them and shit. He'll fucking go mental, like setting up traps and like, you know, fucking like trying to get to the bottom of it and fucking like throwing rocks at birds and shit. Fucking just acting like a fucking absolute animal. But just so he could have something to bitch about and fucking like get mad about. It's honestly. And he fucking he grew these strawberries, and they were like, they didn't get bigger than like this. I swear to God, they were fucking like, they didn't get bigger than like your fucking thumbnail. Like the biggest one was like the size of your thumbnail. But you know something? They tasted fucking incredible. They actually tasted amazing. Yeah. Those were the best strawberries maybe I ever ate in my life. Like persimmon. By the way, persimmons fucking blow. My father grew a persimmon tree in the backyard. And he's always trying to get us to eat the fucking things. And we're like, nah, man, for the last fucking time, like, we don't want these shitty fruit. They're not good. They're gross, and they're messy, and weird, and stupid. Alright, they're alright. They're okay. I'm being unfair. They're okay. But he comes in, and he's got, like, 2 fucking fists full of these fucking fruits. By the way, there's, like, fucking, like, longhorn beetles fucking climbing all over them and shit. Aphids, there's aphids, they're fucking lousy with aphids.
It's just him liking the persimmons.
Oh, so, obviously we're talking about my father. My father is obsessed with these disgusting fruits called persimmons. And he goes, he like picks them.
They're so bad.
And then he brings them to their house, and he's like, "You gonna eat the persimmon? You like a persimmon?" And he's like, "No, Grandpa, nobody likes that disgusting fruit."
Jump.
And he's like, "You're gonna eat it anyway, cause you're gonna like it. I'm gonna make you like it. You're gonna like it." To the point where, like, did he literally not shove the fruit into your mouth at one point? Yeah.
And it got squished all over my face because he tried shoving the whole thing in my mouth. There was guts of it all over my face. And it didn't even taste good.
Nah, they're gross. You wanted some persimmon? And then he goes back there, like, at least like once every couple months, maybe he comes back with the bag of persimmons and tries to shove them into your face again. Like he forgot what happened the last time. Like, everybody was mad at him. Like, because everybody's like, "Could you just leave the kid alone, please?" It's turned into a vent sesh about my father.
Yeah. Used to be Ty. Then it was my dad for a little. Then it was us. Now it's your dad. Now it's...
Tristan, I think we complain about people a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Is that just because, like, we complain a lot? Or is that because these people give us so much to complain about?
They give us a lot to complain
Thank
about.
you. Thank you. That's what I thought. So, like most Italians, he has a little garden. He has a little garden in the backyard. And I'm going to try to find these for you. So he fucking, and I'll be shocked, honestly, if anybody knows what this is. He just goes and, like, buys random plants and sticks them in the fucking ground. He doesn't even know what he's buying, or, like, he's being told, but he's too stupid to understand, like, what he bought. He puts them in the ground, and then they just sit there. Like, he doesn't water them or anything. Like, if it rains, it rains. Half of them die. Half of them die. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's a fucking dumbass. So half of them fucking die. And, but this year, one of the plants made it. And, like, it just kept getting, like, he planted it in, like, probably, like, it's like May. But then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And the fucking plant was towering over me. I'm not kidding. Whatever the fuck he bought was like a fucking beanstalk, dude. I thought we were gonna fucking climb it to get to the giant's castle. It was fucking insane. He grew. He literally bought the fucking magic beans and grew like a fucking 12-foot tall plant.
And it was wide. Like, it fucking had, like, branches and shit. It was like a tree. Now, at one point, there's, again, like a storm or whatever. And the fucking thing fell over. And I remember at one point, like, I was trying to walk through it, but I couldn't walk through it. Because it was... these things fell over. And we're now, like, on the ground, like, vertically. And we're, like, in the fucking way. Like, they were in the fucking way. They're blocking the stairs and shit. Because that's how big they were. And I'm like, Mom, what the fuck? What is this? And she's like, I don't fucking know. Who gives a shit? I'm like, what do you mean who gives a shit? This is annoying. She's like, I don't know. I don't fucking know what it is. I don't know what it is. I asked your father what it is. He said they're potatoes. I was like, these are not potatoes. These are not potatoes. What the fuck? That's not what a potato looks like. What do you mean potatoes? It's because he can't fucking speak English. They're not potatoes. Like, do potatoes do that? Hello? Do potatoes make a 12-foot tall fucking small tree? Do potatoes turn into a tree? So these things are in the way. They're pissing me off. I'm like, Mom, I'm going to fucking rip it out of the ground and throw it out. And she was like, please, for the love of God, don't do anything that's going to piss him off. So the other day, my mom comes home and she hears him, like, doing something in the backyard. She goes back there and, like, he's digging. He's digging feet down into the dirt. All right, the trees were, like, ripped up and he's, like, digging down, like, into the dirt underneath where they were planted. And he's pulling out dozens and dozens of these. Has anybody here seen this before or have any idea what this is? A rutabaga. That's a rutabaga? Here's another picture. Are these rutabagas? No, it's not. No, it's not ginger. It's not ginger. And the way that we found out what it was my mother Googled things that look like ginger. Okay? Turned out to be something called the Jerusalem artichoke. Does it look like an artichoke, guys? Is this a guess? Like, Google Jerusalem artichoke. So we're like, all right, well, what are they? Like, do we even want them? And while we're having this conversation, he walks in the fucking house. He walks in the door. He walks over and he's like, hey, you like my potatoes? Hey, you like the potatoes? And I'm like, Dad, what the fuck are these? No, I don't like them. What are they? Hey, you like the potatoes? They're beautiful, right? I grew them myself. I'm like, you didn't fucking grow shit. You bought a random plant from the fucking, from God knows where he even got this from. But one of his, like, stupid, weird Italian friends, okay? Like, one of his weird fucking immigrant friends who, like, also is barely intelligible, gave him this plant. And he stuck it into the fucking ground, okay? Without knowing what they were or caring what they were. Okay? So he's like, hey, you like the potatoes? And I'm like, I don't think we're gonna eat these because we don't know what the fuck they are. And then he grabs one of them off the table. It's covered in dirt. And starts eating it like an apple. And he's like, no, it's a fucking delicious. And he's eating this fucking thing like with dirt. Like, it hadn't even been washed yet. It's got fucking dirt all over it. And he's eating it like a fucking apple. Because he's trying to prove that he did a good thing. Like, he had to prove he did something, you know. He goes, "You want to try a piece?" Now, if I told him no, he would have been really annoying about this. Right. Like, he would have been really, like, douchey about this. Like, if I had told him no, he would have been, like, offended, and he would have fucking, like, he might have, like, cursed me out or something. Like, when it comes to him with, like, food like that, like, you don't have a choice. Like, you have to tell him yes. Busy, you have to tell him yes. I was like, "Can I have a very small piece, please?" So he takes he goes in the drawer, he takes a knife out. And he tries to and I notice, you know how, like, they have plastic sheaths for knives? Like the kitchen knives, they have the plastic sheaths, so when you put them in the drawer, you don't cut yourself? Knife guards. He takes it out and tries to, like, cut a slice off of it, but he didn't take the sheath off. Like, he didn't take the knife guard off, so he's trying to cut it with plastic. He goes to cut it, and the fucking potato shoots out like from the fucking, and like flies off the table because he couldn't get past, like, the childproofing, basically. I said nothing. He picked the potato up and tried to do it again. And it happened again. It happened 4 times. I watched him pick the potato. He was like, "What the fuck is wrong with the knife? How come I don't cut?" 4 times he tried to cut the potato with the knife. And it's a big white piece of plastic. Like, you can clearly see. That there's a problem. That this isn't going to work. This cannot be real. It's real. Finally, he realizes that there's a cover on it. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't see this." And he, like, laughed at it like it was like, "Oh, yeah, it's just..." He, like, laughed. He thought it was funny and not terrifying. Finally, he takes it off, and he is able to cut a small slice, and he gives it to me. Raw. Do you know that this thing was fucking delicious? It was good. It was like a potato. How do I explain it? With almost like a floral taste to it. Does that make sense? Raw? Yeah, raw. It wasn't... Like, you know how when when potatoes are raw, you can't chew them? These were not that hard. Starchy, but slightly sweet. Perfect explanation. Perfect explanation. Like, sweet. They weren't hard. They were like, you could chew on it. And it was like a refreshing taste. Like, seriously. It was like, it was juicy. It had a lot of, like, moisture in it. It had a nice texture to it. I'm serious. No, we're not giving him a dub. He's still a fucking moron. He's not getting a dub. This was totally random and completely out of his control. He's still a fucking complete idiot. No, he's not. He gets no dub. Guys. Like an apple and a potato had a baby, but sweeter. But sweeter. Seriously. My mom found the recipe. I didn't get to try this because I had left by this point. But she sliced them really, really thin. This was the recipe she found for these things. And you just put like a little bit of salt and pepper on them, and maybe like I think she said like olive oil. And then just put it in the oven and like let them crisp up a little bit. And she said those were like really good. She said they were really good. It was like, they were like potato chips basically, but like sweet potato chips, you know. And I think the remainder of them, she said she's gonna make them at Thanksgiving. Because these things will keep, you know, for a period of time. She was like, fuck it, I'll make them for Thanksgiving, you know, everybody will like these. Chat, he took a plant, stuck it in the ground, did nothing to it, waited till it fell over, thought they were potatoes, tried to cut it with the knife that had a guard on it 4 times. You think this is a dub? No, he gets no dub. When he planted it, he had no idea what it was. Like, he failed upwards. He failed upwards. He's done shit like this before, many, many times. I'm going to show you what the last time he had a dub. Have any of you ever seen these before? Now you know what it is. I don't think they're not like called UFO squash traditionally, like typically. This little fucking guy. Does anybody know what these are actually called? Squash. It's like a summer squash. One year, yeah, it was in my, I'd say it was in my 20s. It was a while ago. It was a long time ago. These just appeared in his little garden. They're called Pattypans. And we looked into it, and it turned out we were able to figure out what they were. But here was the deal, like, you're supposed to pick them like pretty early on, because the smaller they are, the more flavor they have. But because my father is a fucking idiot, you can't tell him something like that. So, like, you try to explain it to him, and he's like, you get it the fuck out of here. No, the bigger is better. You want a nicer, bigger vegetables that you can brag about. Because he wants to be like, look what I fucking did. I grew this massive squash because I'm a fucking god at gardening. Right? But it's like, no, jerk off. Because it doesn't fucking work that way. He did the same thing with cucumbers. Do you know what happens when you wait too long to pick cucumbers? He's like, yeah, look at the big giant the cucumber. And he comes in with this cucumber that's like a fucking bad dragon dildo. And we fucking cut it open. And it is 99.9% seeds. And tastes like shit. Because you have to harvest it at the right time. You can't wait for it to get too big because that's what happens. And we've told him this year after year after year. And he's like, fuck you, you wanted the nice and big vegetables so you can brag. Just because he wants to fucking brag. But it tastes like shit. So, and like he doesn't learn. And he'll sit there and eat it to prove his point. He'll be like, what are you talking about? It's so fucking delicious. And it's like, it's all seeds and tastes like nothing. But he sits there and eats it because he can't be wrong about anything. You know what I'm saying? Again, like the thing with the lobster. So when it came to these squashes, like we tried to tell him, like you have to pick them now, and he told us to go fuck ourselves. We picked some of them and cooked them without telling him, because he's also too stupid like to realize like some of them are missing. So we made some, and they were very, very, very good. Like, they tasted great. It's a small little, like, they just, like, slice them in half and grill them. But then, like, one of them, you know, like, the ones that we had to leave for him, they got really, really big. And when we cooked them, they tasted like nothing. They just tasted like nothing. They tasted like nothing. And it was like, yeah, it's a lot of squash, but it tastes like nothing.
If you have a good heart, even more important to have courage on this world, because you know, you gotta power, guys.
You gotta iron it up. You gotta iron it up. You gotta iron it up, guys. You gotta have courage and a good heart, and you gotta iron it up. Mike, explain that. The abridged version is that we were at somebody's house. They had a pool table. It was with my dad and my nephews, and he was trying to teach them how to play pool, even though he doesn't know a single fucking thing about it. And he was just annoying the shit out of them. He kept telling them that they had to iron it up. We were like, what the fuck is he saying? Iron it up. He just kept repeating that to them. And they were like, leave us alone, Grandpa. And he was like, no, you gotta iron it up. You gotta iron it up. But when you put it, he was trying to tell them, like, I don't know, bro. To eye it up, I guess, maybe. It was something that he heard somebody say somewhere at some point, and then he was just regurgitating it without understanding what it meant. That's it. That's the story. That's it. Oh my God. You know what I realized? You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to iron it up. You gotta iron it up in this game. That's the reason I'm gonna retell the story, like, real quick. So, my brother's kids were at my parents' house. My dad, he's got, like, an old, shitty pool table. Roll dice. By the way, this pool table is literal garbage. Someone was throwing it out. The fucking wood is warped, and you try to play on it, and the fucking the balls, like, roll off to the side. It's insane. You cannot legitimately play pool on this table. It's a complete piece of shit. Again, someone was literally throwing it out, and he was like, no, I'll take it. It's a free pool table. And my brother's kids were there, and he was trying to teach my brother's kids how to play pool. The problem is he has absolutely no idea how to play pool. And he was just sitting there saying these generic things like, you gotta iron it up! You gotta iron it up! And I think he was... Because again, his English blows despite him living in the US for 50 years. He still basically has not learned how to speak English. And, you know, my brother's kids are like, can you leave us the fuck alone, please? Like, get away from us. And he's like, no, I'm telling you, you gotta iron it up, or you gotta put it... He was trying to say, eye it up, I think. We think he was trying to say, eye it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was saying, like, actually look at the ball before you try to get it in the fucking hole. And I mean, no shit. I think everybody who... The first time a person holds a pool cue, they're probably going to assume, like, yeah, maybe I should look at the ball before I try to get it in the pocket. I don't know. I hate this guy. If it's not clear, I hate this guy. That spawned me. You got to iron it up. He meant, like, iron sights. Stop defending him. He didn't mean iron sights. He's a moron. The ivy story was fantastic. Yeah. He destroyed my brother's ivy. My brother had spent, like, years trying to grow this beautiful ivy, like, all over a fucking wall in his backyard. And one day, I think it was Easter, my fucking dad disappeared for, like, 40 minutes, and then he came back in the house. He was like, hey, so I took care of the weeds that you had in your fucking backyard. You're welcome. And my brother goes, what weeds? And he goes out there, and my father fucking ripped down all the ivy and threw it in the trash. My brother spent like 5 years growing that ivy, so it would look nice. Yeah. That actually breaks my heart. Oh, yeah, no. Living with this guy and having this guy in your life is constant heartbreak. Constant fucking heartbreak. So... we're at my brother's house for Easter. And we bring my dad, you know. We bring my dad. And we're all hanging out in the backyard for a little bit. We're having cigars and all that. And then we go inside, right? But we leave him out there. Phoenix, thanks for 39 months. We leave him out there by himself for about, like, I'm going to say 30 minutes. Eventually, later that night, We're back out there again. My father had left, and my brother, he notices that the creeping ivy that he had been deliberately growing up his, like, the back wall or one of the fences on his property for about 11 years had all been torn off the wall. For 11 years, my brother was meticulously curating a beautiful ivy to climb up his fence. And my dad thought it was weeds and ripped it all down. He was left alone for about, I'm going to say 20, not even 30 minutes. 11 years ruined in 30 minutes. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, what did he say? Did anything? None of us even bothered saying anything to him. Why would any of us even bother saying anything to him? What would be the point of that? You know, like what? So he could just be like, it looked like a shit anyway. Fuck you. Like, what the fuck would be the point? You want to hear another one? So they had a tree in their backyard that my mother loved. And they lived in this house for like, I think, very similar story. It was about, I think she said she was basically, every day she would look out the window and watch this tree grow. Like they bought it when it was like a sapling. And she loved this tree. And it was like, she was watching this tree grow for something like 15, almost 20 years, I think. And one day he went out there and was like, he decided it was time to trim it. He think it needed to get trimmed. And we don't know exactly how this happened. Like, we think he trimmed a little bit too much and fucked it up. And then, like, tried to do the thing where he tried to fix his fuck up, but fucked it up more. Like, basically like a Mr. Bean sketch. You know, like a Mr. Bean bit, basically. And it was either that, or he thought that it genuinely was going to look this good in the first place. It was like this kind of a beautiful pine tree. And when he got done butchering it after an hour, it looked like one of the heffalump trees from what a fucking Horton Hears a Who or whatever the fuck. It looked like one of the Dr. Seuss trees where it basically only had branches at the tippy top of it and the rest of the tree was naked. And dying. Like, the tree's dying now. He killed it. And he was like, you're welcome, everybody. And then, like, he'll bring it up in arguments and shit. He'll be like, you're such a fucking ungrateful bitch. Remember when I trim you fucking tree and I do a beautiful job? Like, he'll bring that up in an argument with my mother to, like, be like, fuck you. And, like, rub it in her face that, like, he does all this shit for her. Yeah, I swear to God. Yeah, this is the kind of guy. This is the kind of guy we're talking about. Fuck, I hate him. I hate him. Words can't express. He recently went on, he went on a fishing trip to the Gulf Coast somewhere, and he, you know, he went on a plane. So he had a flight. He didn't, like, drive there or anything. He had a flight. I think the flight was, like, 3 hours long. It was, like, a 3-hour-long flight. Okay? But before he got on the plane, like, what was gonna happen was he was gonna meet, like, some of his friends down there, I guess. He was gonna meet some of, like, his like, I don't know, his fishing buddies down there or whatever. One of them had a house down there or some shit. But here's the point, right? Prior to the flight, he walks into my parents' house and he has a fucking, like a plastic bag, like, that's full of food. Like, it's a really, like, a heavy plastic bag. And my mom was like, what is in that bag? And he's like, oh, it's the sandwiches from the deli. Like, his favorite deli that he goes to or whatever, where they make, like, those big, gross, like, fucking Italian hoagies that have, like, that are, like, drenched in fucking vinegar and have, like 4 different kinds of meat on them, okay? Sounds amazing. It's not. I love those. I'm not a terribly big fan of those, okay? But he goes and he gets, they're like fucking footlongs. Like they were fucking massive. These things cost at the absolute minimum like $15 each. And there was like 6 of them in this fucking bag. And my mom's like, aren't you getting on a plane in like an hour? What are you doing with what are you doing with these sandwiches? He's like, oh, I'm gonna take them to Alabama and to give them to the guys. And my mom's like, you're taking sandwiches on a plane? She's like, so by the time the guys get these sandwiches, they're going to be about like, at the absolute minimum, they're going to be sitting there in a bag on a fucking plane, rotting for like 6 hours. Like fermenting, like for okay. Even if he, I don't know what happened when he fucking got there. Okay, I don't know what happened with the sandwiches, but like imagine you're one of these guys, and this fucking like this Italian. There's no nice word I can use right now. Okay, person, okay, comes off the fucking plane. And like meets you lobotomite. Like gets out of an Uber, you know, he's like, hey everybody, I bring us some sandwiches. And then he goes into a fucking bag and takes out a 6-hour-old sandwich. That's just been like fermenting in a fucking plastic bag. Like, are you gonna eat that? No, I mean like, I don't know, that seemed really stupid to me. Probably older than 6 hours. Realistically, I'm being generous when I say by the time he gave these sandwiches to these guys, it was 6 hours later.
Svenskjävlar? It was indeed Svenskjävlar, yes. Absolutely. I still have them. I eat them once in a while because I like them. Because I'm a sick fuck. But my dad couldn't handle it. And he was eating it like... and insisting it wasn't a big deal. Because again, what happened was my sister ate one and spit it out in front of him. My sister. Again, this is like you know, again, not a man, my sister. So a part of this is like divorced from like macho bullshit. A part of it's just like, I can do anything that like anybody can do better. Is what he has to like, he has to believe that or like he's not okay. So he watched my sister eat one and then spit it out in front of him and call it dog shit. He was sitting there, she bit one, and she chewed it and spit it out and was like, what the fuck, what did you just give me? That was dog shit. I was like, it's candy from Sweden. She said, didn't come from Sweden, it came from a dog's asshole. How dare you give that to me, you dick? She got like mad at me. She fucking, she spit it out, he watched. Okay. And then he went, give me one of those fucking things. He wouldn't had any interest if she didn't spit it out. That was the only reason he wanted to eat it. Because he wanted to prove he could handle it while she couldn't. He wanted everybody to see how fucking like manly he was. Or how fucking... I don't even fucking know. Whatever. He fucking took it, he ate it. And while he's chewing on it, I'm watching his face. I'm watching him grimace. He's like, it's not the bad. It's pretty good. And he's fucking hating every second of it because he couldn't spit it out. And I'm like, yeah, dick. I'm watching him fucking chew it. He's like, he had to force himself to swallow it, you know, because he fucking, you could tell it was like, Delicioso. Fucking asshole. And I'm like, yeah, you like that, dick? Yeah, you like it? And it was this, again, the same thing with it was a ghost pepper. It was a fucking ghost pepper, or like a Carolina Reaper or some shit. My brother brought it to the house. We don't know where he got it from. And it was like, this pepper's really hot. Don't eat the pepper. He overhears this. But he was like sitting at the table. And we're telling each other, like, yeah, that pepper's like really hot. Don't eat that. And he's like, okay. And apparently I wasn't there for this, unfortunately. I had to fucking hear it secondhand. I had to fucking hear about it secondhand from my mom. He ate the pepper. I saw some of the aftermath of it. Too bad I can't read here. Real men eat Christmas trees. If I told him that, he would eat the Christmas tree. Alright, Nihilist Gangster has been watching my streams for a long time. He's got the full list of things that Mike's dad will eat. Raw lobster, charcoal, salt licorice meme candy, ghost peppers, potatoes, read, Jerusalem artichokes, and butt pissed. And finally, butt pissed. Tell him about the cinnamon challenge. We could fucking kill this guy by like daring him to do things. Or just telling him, make sure you don't do the cinnamon challenge. Damn, he sounds like a real man. Puggers. Don't forget about the plantains. Nihilist Gangster did forget about the plantains. Because he went to the store to buy bananas and bought plantains by accident. And then had to sit there and eat them raw because he didn't want to admit he fucked up and bought the wrong thing. Yes, he ate raw plantains. Because he could never do anything wrong. So he's like, there's nothing wrong with these bananas. Shut the fuck up. Also, he eats shrimp with the shit in them. Because he didn't want to remove the veins. Yeah, he didn't want to remove the shit veins. You have to admit it's impressive he's still alive. You can't kill stupid. Like, he's like... Stupid, shitty people just never die. Straight up. I have to get telling you guys about this guy and having you enjoy it so much and like having it be like content or something. I guess that's what it is, right? And having you guys fucking validate that there is something deeply wrong with him and I'm not fucking crazy is extremely, extremely fucking cathartic for me.
So last night, I was hanging out with some of the fam. We were at a cousin's house. So this is one of my dad's brother's offspring. You understand? So we were hanging out with the dad's side of the family last night. And here's the fun part, right? My dad had like 5 brothers, and they were all exactly like him. So, I'm going to tell you guys a little story that I heard for the first time last night. Not about my dad, but about a guy who's just basically, for all intents and purposes, is exactly like him, you know. There's more of them, yeah, there's more of them. They all share the donkey kick gene. Like I've told you, him and his brothers, they used to take turns playing a game. Because they grew up on a farm, so they would take turns playing a game where they would get kicked in the head by the donkey deliberately, and they would take turns getting kicked in the head, and then whoever was like the last one standing won. And I'm not exaggerating, right? Sounds like they all lost. Yeah. It was fun. You would get you would kind of like get a buzz off that. Like you would get high from the donkey kick. Like you would just kind of It felt good, right? It explains so much. My uncle, he had to do something. He had to renew his driver's license one day. This is like about 10 years ago, actually. He had to renew his driver's license. So he goes to his wife and you know, his family. And he's like, I gotta go get the fucking the driver's license. I gotta get it's expired. I gotta go get it a new one. I gotta get it renewed. And they told him, they were like, well, you gotta go up to the DMV. You know, you gotta go there in person. You probably gotta take a new picture and fill out the, you know, there's this little form you gotta fill out, and you gotta, you know, it's a whole thing, right? It's a whole thing. Can't just go do that on a whim, right? Metalinks, thanks for 8 months support. And he was like, I'm gonna fucking go up there right now and get it over with. I'm gonna go right now. I'm gonna go right now. You're gonna fucking come with me because I can't read or write. And his wife and his son are like, they're like, listen, man, you know, you can't do that today because today is Martin Luther King Day. So the DMV is closed because it's a national holiday. Right? And he was like, shut the fuck up. You don't know if they, why the fuck would they close it? Why the fuck are they gonna close that? I'm a fucking, who gives a shit about that shit? The fuck you. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They're not gonna close the DMV for that fucking shit. You don't want to fucking come with me? Fuck you. I'm gonna go by myself and I don't need your fucking help. Fuck you. He thought they were saying that to him because they didn't want to go with him. So he goes there by himself and it's closed. And he comes back. He comes back and he's like, the fucking shit that was closed. And they were like, oh yeah? Why was it closed? And he was like, I don't know. It was like the fuck. They said there was a sign that said it was closed. It was like a fucking Lion King Day or some shit like that. They said it was closed because of the fucking Lion King. How come nobody told me?
When I was a kid, one of my uncles, he had a shipping container on his property. It's fucking grody. And apparently, I come to find out he's making wine in the shipping container. And this is like an old, you know, like old school, like crazy, you know, Sicilian motherfucker. And one day I'm over there and he's like, come out to the shed. I'm gonna show you how to make the wine. I'm gonna take you. Come on. We're gonna make the wine. I'm gonna show you the wine. And he takes me out there, and we go in the shipping container. And he's got like these big fucking barrels of wine, I guess. And apparently they were ready to be filtered before being bottled. So he takes one bucket. I think have I told you guys this before? He takes one bucket, and the wine was fermenting in like a fucking, like an oil drum or something that was like an oil drum, this container that he fucking had. And he puts, like, I swear to God, it was a screen door. Okay? He was literally bootlegging wine, yeah. He put a screen door over the second bucket, and then he picked up the bucket with the wine in it, and he poured it through the screen door to filter it. And, like, what do I see on the screen, okay? Stems from the grapes, seeds from the grapes, detritus, like grape material, you know, like grape shit. If you get a bottle of wine, right, you're going to see a bunch of grape detritus at the bottom of the fucking the bottle. This is normal. Right? This is a totally normal thing.
It's like, actually, that's, you know how they say wine has a lot of sulfides? Apparently that shit is where all the sulfides are contained. The sediment settles, just get the shit from the top. Whatever. Okay, so he's continuing to pour the wine. And what else do I see get collected on the screen? Literally like a screen sliding door. Yo. Colossal insects. There was like cicadas, spiders. I think I seen like a roach. Like every kind of fucking insect. Imagine like centipedes and shit, moths. And he's like, all right, so now we're gonna bottle it and you're gonna take some home, you know. You're gonna take some home you're gonna take it home, you're gonna drink it. Great, good. Thanks, uncle. So we bring the wine home. I'm obviously not very interested in drinking it, you know. I had drank it before. I had the wine. The wine was very strong. Very strong. Like when I was a fucking degenerate in high school, when I was like a degenerate alcoholic in high school, I actually did like this wine because it would get you extremely drunk. Yeah. That explains why he needs glasses. Yeah, I definitely got permanent brain damage from this fucking wine, guys. And you know, I was under the impression like, oh well, you know, the bugs aren't in it anymore because it got filtered out, right? One day, I guess it could have been like years later or something. You know, my father is enjoying some of this wine, and I pick up the bottle, right? I pick up the bottle, and I notice that there is a very, very thick sediment on the bottom of this fucking bottle, right? He used to put them in jugs. Think like a growler. Do you know what a growler is? Like for beer? I fucking look, I take the bottle and I hold it up to the light. Against the light, I'm able to see what the sediment actually is. It's like 3 inches thick of dead fruit flies. It was like, oops, all flies. And these people are just drinking it. Like, so yeah, I know about bootlegging wine a little bit, yeah.